Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into something really fascinating. We're going to explore the world of what the law calls inchoate crimes.
Right, which sounds super complicated, but it's really not.
Exactly. And our mission today, using some notes we pulled from a law school bar review guide, it's called Law School Essentials, is to break this all down using very simple English.
No heavy legal jargon, just the core concepts.
Right. And I'm going to recap things often just to make sure we never get lost in the weeds, because this topic, it really flips how you think about the justice system.
It totally does, because, normally when you think of a crime, you think of the finish line. Like, the bank is robbed, the alarm is going off.
A getaway car is speeding down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the law doesn't actually wait for the finish line. That's what inchoate means. It just means unripened or incomplete.
Unripened. I like that. So the big aha moment for you listening right now, right up front, is that you do not actually have to complete a crime to be guilty of one.
No, not at all. The law steps in way earlier to punish bad intentions once they get put into motion.
So we're going to look at the three types of these unripened crimes today. Solicitation, which is asking, conspiracy, which is agreeing, and attempt, which is trying.
That's a great roadmap. Asking, agreeing, and trying.
It's kind of like baking a cake, right? You can get in trouble for asking someone to bake an illegal cake with you. You can get in trouble for agreeing to bake it together. Or you can get in trouble for just mixing the batter yourself.
Even if that cake never actually goes into the oven.
Right, even if there's no cake. So let's start with phase one, the asking phase. Because every crime has to start somewhere, usually with an idea, and sometimes an invitation.
Right, and in simple English, the law calls this solicitation. It's basically enticing or encouraging or commanding someone else to commit a crime.
But there's a catch, right? Like, I have to actually mean it.
Yes, exactly. You have to have the specific intent that they're going to do it. You can't just be, blowing off steam at the office like, oh, I wish someone would burn this place down.
Right, venting doesn't count. But if I actually mean it,
If you mean it, the crime is 100% complete the exact second that encouragement happens.
wait, the exact second. What if the other person says no?
It doesn't matter. They do not need to agree.
Oh, wow. So the source text has this crazy example. A wife goes to a bar, walks up to a total stranger, and asks them to kill her husband.
Classic law school example, yeah.
And the stranger is like, no, and walks away. She is guilty of solicitation right then and there, just for asking.
Right there at the bar. She broke the law.
But wait, hold on. What if it's literally impossible for the person I asked to commit the crime? Like, what if I asked someone to rob a bank on Main Street, but that building was torn down yesterday?
Okay, so this is called factual impossibility. And it does not matter.
It doesn't.
No, factual impossibility is almost never a defense to solicitation. Because, the law is looking at your mind, your intent. You try to launch a crime into the world. The fact that you were just factually wrong about the bank being there,
Just bad luck on my part.
right, bad luck doesn't erase your dangerous intent.
Makes sense. Are there any exceptions to that asking rule, though?
There is one small kind of structural exception. If the person doing the asking is part of a protected group, they can't be guilty,
Protected group. Like who?
like an underage person in a statutory rape case.
Yeah.
The law is designed to protect minors, so the courts won't twist that protective law around to punish the minor for soliciting it.
Okay, that makes total sense. So time for a quick, simple English recap. Solicitation is just asking. As soon as the words leave your mouth and you mean it, you broke the law, even if they say no.
Nailed it.
Awesome. So that moves us to phase two. We know what happens if the person at the bar says no, but what happens if they say yes?
Right, what if they agree? Now we move from asking to agreeing. And this is conspiracy.
Conspiracy, which sounds, I don't know, like smoky back rooms and mob bosses.
It does, but legally, it's just an agreement between two or more people to do something unlawful, plus the intent to actually do it.
So does there have to be like a secret blood oath? Or a signed contract saying, we are doing crimes now?
No, not at all. An oral agreement is totally fine. In fact, you don't even have to speak.
Oh, wait, really? A silent agreement?
Yeah, an agreement can be inferred just from actions. Like if we both walk into a store and I silently pull out a weapon, and you just wordlessly start smashing display cases.
We clearly have an agreement. Silence means agreement there.
Exactly. The law sees the coordination. But under modern rules, like the Model Penal Code or federal law, just agreeing isn't quite enough anymore.
Right. The notes mention this. You need a little bit more.
Yes, someone in the group has to take an overt act,
Mm.
Basically, one step forward to put the plan into motion.
And the fascinating part about this step is that it can be a totally legal thing to do, right?
Completely legal.
Yeah.
Buying a street map, renting a minivan, buying a prepaid cell phone.
So buying a cell phone is fine, but if we agree to rob a bank, and then I buy the cell phone specifically for our getaway communication,
Boom. That legal purchase just became the overt act. The conspiracy is officially locked in.
wow. Okay, so let me push back on the agreement part for a second. Let's say I agree to rob a bank with a buddy. I'm totally serious. But my buddy is actually an undercover cop.
Oh, this is a great scenario.
Right, because he's faking it. He has zero intention of robbing a bank. Can I still go to jail for conspiracy if I'm basically agreeing with a brick wall?
So under the old rules, the answer was no. That was the bilateral rule. You needed two genuinely willing minds.
But the old rule isn't the current rule.
Right, the modern rule, the unilateral rule says you are still guilty. It only takes one person to mean it. You.
So even though he's an undercover cop, my intent was real, so I'm on the hook.
You're fully on the hook. And this is where I need to drop a massive warning for anyone listening. Conspiracy is incredibly dangerous because of something called the Pinkerton rule.
The Pinkerton rule? That sounds intimidating. What is it?
It basically says if you are in a conspiracy, you are guilty of all the other crimes your co-conspirators commit to further the plan.
Wait, all of them? So if I agree just to be the getaway driver and I sit outside in the car, but inside the bank, my partner shoots a security guard.
Even if you explicitly agreed not to shoot anyone, under Pinkerton, you are guilty of that shooting.
That is wild. I'm on the hook for everything my partners do.
Everything they do that furthers the conspiracy.
Yes.
And this gets even crazier when you look at massive networks. Like, the law breaks them down into two shapes.
Right, the chain and the hub and spoke. Let's start with the chain relationship, like drug distribution, right?
Yes. In a chain, everyone is a link. The manufacturer, the smuggler, the street dealer. You don't know everyone in the chain, but you all share a community of interest.
Meaning I need the manufacturer to make the product, and they need me to sell it on the street.
Right. So the law says, congrats, you're all in one giant conspiracy together. You are liable for the whole chain.
Man. Okay, what about the hub-spoke relationship?
This is like one corrupt accountant processing fake loans for 20 different, completely unconnected people.
Unconnected being the key word.
Right. The accountant is the hub in the center. The clients are the spokes. Because the clients don't rely on each other to succeed, they are not liable for each other.
But the hub is liable for everyone.
Exactly. The hub takes all the heat.
Okay, time for another mini recap. Conspiracy is agreeing, plus taking one small step. You can be guilty, even if the other person is an undercover cop, and you might get blamed for everything your partners do.
Perfect summary.
So we've covered asking others and agreeing with others. Now we are at phase 3, the trying phase. What if you just try to do the crime all by yourself, but you fail?
That brings us to attempt. Attempt means you have the specific intent to commit a crime, plus you take a substantial step toward doing it.
Now, substantial step sounds a lot heavier than the overt act we talked about with conspiracy.
It is. The law really struggles with where to draw this line. With conspiracy, mere preparation like buying a map was enough.
But not for attempt.
No, for attempt, the modern test looks for a truly substantial step. Lying in wait for a victim, or unlawfully entering the building. The old test used to be dangerous proximity, meaning you had to be dangerously close to finishing the crime.
Like drilling into the safe. Let's use a simple analogy. So buying a ski mask is just mere preparation, but putting the ski mask on and walking up to the bank doors?
That is a substantial step.
It's like the difference between buying a swimsuit and actually standing on the edge of the diving board.
Exactly. Once you're on the diving board, you've committed attempt, even if you back out or slip.
Okay, so this brings up a really fascinating quirk. Impossibility. We talked about this with asking, but the source text has a wild example for attempting.
Oh, the factual impossibility example, yes.
Yeah.
You sneak into a room to shoot someone in their bed.
Right.
You pull the trigger. But it turns out they died of a heart attack an hour earlier.
You shot a dead body. You literally cannot murder a dead person.
You can't. But you are still guilty of attempted murder.
Because factually failing doesn't erase my intent.
Exactly. In your mind, you were murdering someone. Just like if you try to steal a painting that isn't actually in the house, you still get attempted burglary. Factual impossibility does not save you.
Wow. Okay, but there's a flip side to this. Legal impossibility.
Right. Legal impossibility is a valid defense.
So what's the difference?
Legal impossibility is when the thing you are trying to do isn't actually a crime at all, even if you wrongly believe it is.
Yeah, so like If I think it's illegal to chew gum on a Sunday, and I sneak down to my basement, lock the doors, and chew gum, thinking I'm this huge criminal mastermind.
Right, you had the intent, you took the step,
Yeah.
but you can't be guilty of attempted gum chewing because it's not a real law.
The law doesn't punish a guilty conscience if no actual statute was broken.
Exactly.
Love that. Okay, mini recap time. Attempt is trying to do the crime and taking a very big step. Failing because of bad luck doesn't save you, but failing because the act was actually totally legal does.
Spot on. Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle.
Phase 4, the rule of merger. Because now we know the 3 unripened crimes. But what happens if the crime is completely successful?
Right, you get punished twice.
Yeah. Do you get punished for the setup and the success? Do they stack?
So this is the concept of merger, basically folding into. The double jeopardy clause generally stops the law from punishing you twice for the same basic action.
Meaning you can't be convicted of attempting to steal a car and
Yeah.
also actually stealing the car.
Right. So solicitation and attempt merge into the completed crime.
Yeah.
If you ask someone to kill your husband and they do it, you are tried for murder, not solicitation.
It folds in. Same with attempt.
Yep. If you try to steal the car and succeed, you are punished for stealing, not attempted stealing.
Yeah, but what about conspiracy? If we agree to rob a bank and then we actually rob it, does the agreement fold into the robbery?
And here's the big exception. Conspiracy does not merge.
Wait, really? It doesn't fold in?
Nope. You can be punished for the conspiracy to commit murder, and you can be punished for the murder itself. They stack.
Why? If asking and trying fold in, why does agreeing stack on top?
Because the law views group crime as a special kind of danger. When people get together, they pool their money, they hype each other up, they divide the labor. The courts decided long ago that agreeing to do a crime as a group is a separate, unique threat to society.
Wow. Okay, final mini recap. Asking and trying fold into the final crime if you succeed. But agreeing is treated as its own special danger, so it stacks on top of the final crime.
That is the whole framework right there.
So just to summarize this whole journey for you listening, we learned about inchoate or unripened crimes. Solicitation is asking, conspiracy is agreeing, attempt is trying.
And we learned that factual impossibility rarely saves you.
Right, and conspiracy is the most dangerous one because it never folds into the final crime. It just stacks. But why does this matter so much for everyday life?
Well, it completely changes how you watch the news or true crime shows or even read thrillers. You start to realize that the law doesn't just punish bad results. It heavily punishes bad intentions the moment they're put into motion.
It's all about stopping the momentum.
Exactly. It's stepping in before the victim is actually harmed.
Which is good. But it leaves me with this really provocative thought, something I want you listening to ponder on your own. If the law can punish you just for asking a question at a bar.
Just sliding a $100 bill across the counter.
Right, or for taking a step toward a goal that is factually impossible, like shooting an already dead body. How close is our legal system to punishing pure thought crimes?
It's a very fine line.
Where exactly is the line between a dark fantasy and a substantial step? It's something to think about next time you buy a street map.
Or a sea mask.
Exactly. Thank you all for taking this deep dive with us today. We'll see you next time.